गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. Okay. One more. Manu Smriti is a big topic. It takes Manu Smriti is a big book, takes long time. So, in between certain other topics also come. As I told you, it's a very noisy place. I have come back to Hole Narsipura. Until yesterday I was in Bangalore. Okay, see, it is just a street. Bah. All the time it has become a parking place. And all vehicles are only around my room only, continuously. See, oh my God, continuously, go and come and go and come. Bah. What can I do? Continuous noise. Anyway, I try to say something. Next, in the second chapter of Manu Smriti, we are discussing about Brahmachari Jivana. Because it starts with Upanayana. Upanayana literally means taking near. Upa, near. Taking Upa, Nayana, no, Nayana is taking, Upa is near. Taking near a Guru. So this is an Indologist's interpretation. They say that Upanayana means simply admitting a Gurukula, taking him to a Guru. That means admitting into a school, that's all. It is simply admitting, registering his name, and that's all. He starts going to school, that's enough. That is Upanayana, they think. So our traditional meaning, they have missed it. Upanayana is a samskara. Now he says, Garbhashtame Abde. I think this we have briefly discussed. So a time is given for a brahmachari. I think we have discussed. Yes, now I remember. Yes. A brahmana should undergo Upanayana, Brahmana boy, at the age of 8. But sometimes if he is very mature and intelligent, at the age of 5 can be done. Kshatriya should go up to 11. Then Vaishya 12. Then the maximum period is. Then they have given a maximum period also. Okay. They give up to this many years, but if beyond that, he says, Ashodashat Brahmanasya Savitri Nati Vartate. This is also a very interesting point. From 8, he should not go beyond 16. If he goes beyond 16, then even if you perform Upanayana, it will not make him Brahmana. That means he will lose that Brahmanatva. Though certain, like in modern days, for certain exam, they give you age limit. So, for example, for IAS exams, in those days, up to 22 age, there were only 2 chances and only up to 22 age alone. Now they have extended probably up to 25, 26 or 30, I have no idea. So, similar to that, that means some kind of age bar, age limit was there. Is there in these days, it existed in those days also. Because if he undergoes Upanayana at a younger age, he has a better chance to learn Veda and undergo discipline. Otherwise, if a person, when he grows up, falls into bad company, wrong samskaras picked up, then even then you join Gurukula, it is very difficult to change them. Very difficult to change them. Therefore, don't delay. Maximum is 16, he says. Brahmanasya Savitri should not cross 16 years. Advavimshat kshatra bandhoscha chaturvimshater vishaha. Advavimsha 22. A kshatriya should not cross 22. Okay? And a Vaishya should not cross 24. That means they have got a chance to remain without Upanayana for a longer time. That is because probably they live with their parents, they live with their family, where they can learn certain things more than Veda and ritualistic things. They can learn certain other discipline, other values necessary for their future life from the parents, from the family itself. So they can learn, they can spend a longer time at home and learn those things. Whereas Brahmana has to learn Veda, Shastra under Guru, because it is a more technical one. It needs a lot of discipline. Therefore, he has to go early to school and learn little more rituals, tapas. See, they think that it is a ritual. For a brahmachari, it is a tapas is important. Self-control, humility, means serving Guru, service, tapas, humbleness and values. And of course, knowledge. People think these days education means simply knowledge. Education means simply bookish knowledge is education. No. In those days, education formed a part of it. Because along with education, he has to undergo many other things. Without that, education is not complete. Means the knowledge, these days people are emphasizing knowledge, give it everybody knowledge. Bookish knowledge, it is available. Books are printed, available in all languages, and also available in all languages, and in audios, videos, everything is available. Talks are available. So knowledge as a just information is available everywhere. Is it making them more mature, spiritual, and then people of tapas, people of discipline and values? Knowledge, in those days, knowledge was considered as a great thing. If you have a knowledge, you are a highly disciplined man, great man, because the knowledge would not be given without values and discipline. Okay. Knowledge would not be given without service. Service means serving Guru, staying with him means discipline, other values, self-control, tapas. Tapas means self-control. That means the animalistic instincts from a person have to be removed. He has to be purified. The mind has to be purified and widened, deepened. Okay? That really makes a human being. So all our Shastras concentrate on that inner Atma. Atma is connected with the body, sense organs, and more you are associated with the body, more animalistic you become. More instinctive behavior of pleasures, superficial thing alone will remain. Dull mind, superficial mind. So they say knowledge. Why can't I study Veda? It is not simply studying Veda. Simply it is just memorizing a book. It is the values, discipline, all that which goes with it. Okay? Service, discipline, values, and also humility. Okay? One has to learn the humbleness also, because the curbing ego is very important, because ego remains behind all our activities, thoughts, feelings. So brahmacharya is very important. Self-control. Brahmacharya means self-control. Okay. So therefore, a knowledge is given along with these things. Therefore, two types of knowledges, worldly knowledges and then the Vedic. Vedic knowledge is not treated as a simple intellectual informative knowledge. It requires a spiritual discipline, values, strength, inner strength of the Atma. Okay, Atma Bala we call it. So they are mantras. Veda is a mantra, not a simply any statement. These days we take statement, a book is a statement. Okay, book is a sentence. And its meaning, that's all. Okay. We take sentence and meaning. A book means a sentence and meaning, only two things. We learn the book to memorize the book. Then know the meaning. Meaning means what? Word meaning or little a concept behind. But Veda is not simply a sentence and its word meaning or a concept behind. Okay? Studying Veda is not simply picking up the sentences or mantras and then knowing its meaning. In fact, they concentrate more on the mantras than on the meaning. Because the Veda, they say Veda is knowledge. Knowledge means in modern sense they take. No, it's not. Because in modern sense, sentence and its meaning this much. It is not meaning alone. Sentence itself has a power, Atma Bala. So the mind has to be purified, deepened, self-control we have to learn, values and all that. In a purified mind, a mind which is free from papa, okay, mind which is free from papa, and also pure. Purity comes by controlling thoughts, actions, experiences and relations, emotional relations. Because the relations involve emotions. Then enjoyments, you have to control the enjoyments, restrict them, because even the enjoyments have to be purer enjoyment. Okay? Enjoyments has to be done with humility, with respect, with love, not as a physical enjoyment, but enjoyment of the heart. That means a pleasure. I'll give you a simple example. You eat, supposing when we eat the food for sake of taste, it is only a sense level we are eating. We are enjoying the food at the sense organ level. If you are eating the food for sake of health, then you are eating at the level of pranamaya. If you are eating for sake of purity of mind, okay, we are eating the food not only for sense pleasure, not only for building up the body, but also purity of the mind. The food should be sattvika, made in a pure way, and also served in the pure way, and also taken as a Bhagavan's prasada. You offer it to devatas. You offer it to devatas. Nivedanam, you do it to nivedana, and take that as havishanna, they call them. That is prasada of Bhagavan. Then even the enjoyments should be enjoyed as a blessing of God. So the very enjoyment is receiving of a blessing. In this, there is a humility, there is a purity of the heart. Okay? Humility and purity of the heart. Therefore, with such a life, mind becomes purer and deeper. Then the Vedic sentences, when you learn, come with a power. Mantra has got a power. The meaning is also not an intellectual meaning. It is a deeper spiritual meaning. So nowadays they take sentence means just a superficial word alone, akshara matram. Word means akshara matram. And meaning means a literal meaning. Okay? Superficial literal meaning. When the Veda say, when it is told as Veda, Veda itself is a mantra. It has to be seen from a deeper level. That's why that rishis have received the mantra, rishi darshana. Similar to rishis, a brahmana, a dvija has to become somebody similar to a rishi. That means the mind has to be pure enough. In that pure, when the sentence comes, it touches your heart. It comes with a power. That mantra has got a mystic power. Okay? The meaning also implies a deeper spiritual meaning. Both the form of the mantra, that is the sentence. Both the form of the mantra and the meaning of the mantra. Both are highly deeper and spiritual. Okay, this requires all this discipline. Therefore, education means ultimately purifying, learning values, self-control, service, humility, and all this. That's why education implied those things. Informative knowledge anybody can learn. These days computers learn. I think human beings do. In fact, the education in future will become meaningless. Because education means in those days a lot of memorizing, picking up idea. I think even doctors are not, for example, I'll give you, doctors are not required. You feed, first thing is you take all tests, explain the symptoms, feed all the symptoms to computer. It will diagnose and prescribe the medicine. That because doctors have become simply informative knowledge as much as a computer can do. They don't have to use certain inner mind, the intuition they don't have to use at all. Intuition they don't have to use at all. The feelings, the thoughts, the inner mind, they don't have to use it. Because the modern knowledge is only all superficial knowledge. Just like a computer or a chat GPT can do. Computer or chat GPT can do. So all professions in future will become like that. Then all human beings are redundant. That means the education has no meaning. We have reduced education into what computer can do. Human beings are made into computers. So what human being means? The consciousness, which is more than a machine. What a consciousness can do has been ignored. But here we say purifying the consciousness. You develop the mantra shakti. The mind has to become pure to develop the mantric power. And also knowledge is intuitive knowledge. Knowledge is intuitive knowledge. And then mantras means power of the mantras. Okay, the mystic power of the mantras. Sentence means not simply akshara. Each akshara, each letter means a mystic power. Then knowledge means intuitive understanding. Okay, intuitive understanding. So these days knowledge anybody can learn. Why you denied Veda? Anybody can learn. It should be given to all. Nowadays they are available also in print and anybody can read. You read, you will be seeing only superficial. There is nothing in it. And they read and take literal meaning. They say somebody told it's all rubbish. There is nothing in Veda. They talk of only sit in front of fire and take something and pour into the fire and do namaskar. There is nothing in it. What do you learn from that? Any ordinary man can do it. It's a childish, they say. Somebody told it is rubbish. Somebody told maximular childish rattling. And then Rajneesh, you must have known that pervert guru. People called him sex guru and all that. I think what explains him better is, I don't want to comment much because I have read, I think, more than 50 books or even up to 100 books about him. I don't want to comment. So in one word you can tell him is a pervert, because no single sentence comes sane from him without having perversion in his mind. No single sentence comes from him without perversion. Anyway. Okay, that you leave that. So he told that Veda mantras, he says, I read it, is all rubbish. It is all rubbish. Okay. Some people like Max Muller told it is all childish prattling. What else you can expect? What else you can expect? Because you have no Upanayana, you have no Gurukula Vasa, Guru Seva, and Tapas. Upanayana does invoking the God, Devata Shakti, and infusing in your body, sense organs, prana, mind. All these things become purified by Upanayana Samskara. Because Veda mantras have a power, and you invoke that power and install in you, because the person who has been chanting the Veda mantras, he has got that Devata Shakti, and this Devata Shakti is transferred to this Brahmachari, Vidyarthi. So his body is purified, Panchabhutas are purified. Panchabhutas which constitute your body. Panchabhutas which constitute your body have to be purified. Okay? Then prana has to be purified. Because it has to be, body has to be made sattvika. To be able to be sattvika with a very strongly rajasa tamasa body, sattvika mind cannot exist. Sattvika mind cannot exist in tamasa rajasa body. Okay? So body also has to be made sattvika so that the mind can live. Prana also has to be made sattvika. Therefore, the mind has to do upasana. Guru upasana, Veda upasana, Agni upasana. Agni is Devata. Veda is also Devata. Guru is also Devata. Same Devatas, 3 forms. Brahmachari does Agni upasana. That is, Samidadanam he does. Agni means Devata, Vishwarupa Paramatma. So, Bhagavan's upasana, Veda upasana, and then Guru Seva. All these 3 put together, it constitutes tapas, purity, inwardness, and expansion of your mind, purifying your whole system. Why mind alone? Whole system has to be purified. Because lot of animalistic instincts are there in us. That's most important. The animal instincts should go. These can be seen externally from a person. Traditionally, have you seen? Person should be very stable. There should not be restless in a person. In his talking, in his behavior, in his doing any other activity, there shouldn't be restlessness. See, this is a very good sign. You see our traditional acharyas, they are very stable. You can never see them restlessness. They walk coolly, slowly and sit. When they talk slowly, there is no rashness, there is no restlessness. If there is rashness, restlessness, still Rajoguna is there and he has to conquer that Rajoguna. Okay? He has to conquer Tamoguna and Rajoguna. It is not an easy job and it is not one day's job. One has to go through a long time. Okay? Then study the Veda mantras along with it. So that each mantra means not external form alone. There is an inner energy, inner strength, inner power, mantric power. The Devata Shakti is mantra. Devata Shakti is mantra. So Vedadhyayana is an upasana. Guru Seva is a karma. Vedadhyayana is upasana. And Nitya Agnihotra, that Samidadanam is also upasana. So Agni, Veda, Guru. 3 together go. Agni, Veda, Guru. In fact, more than that, Guru is main. Next comes Veda. Next comes Agni for a Brahmachari. Guru is main. For a Gruhastha, Agni is main. Okay? Agni, Veda. Then other things come. But here, first is Guru. That's why Guru Ninda should not be done. He should not hear. Of course, human being may have few weaknesses, mistakes, everybody. Every Guru, being a human being, may have few mistakes. But he is a highly disciplined, highly mature man. In spite of his maturity, may have few mistakes. But others should not criticize his Guru in front of his disciple. Okay? He should not hear, because he should have all respect for his Guru. Respect and reverence, bhakti, nothing but bhakti for his Guru. Because that makes his mind pure. Total dedication, total surrender, total purity. So Guru Bhakti is important. And certain discipline also. Okay. So this was education. Nowadays they say, no, why can't we study? Yes, study means you require all these things. Are you prepared for it? And then after studying it also, in future also, see, many things are there. Education is for purifying a person and also preparing him to live a future life. Future, are you going to live throughout your life like a Brahmana? You want to learn Veda, later you want to earn money and then make money, money, family and etc. and Laukika worldly life you live. Then you have lost. If your life is meant for making money and then they think that what you call Archaka in Mandira, why can't we become Archaka? They think Archaka is a clerical job in the office, that you just do a little bit and go away. It's not simply good doing. It's not simply acting. It requires a lot of discipline, purity, commitment, and many other aspects of your life has to become pure. Are you ready for that? If you are interested in purity and discipline, then follow right now. If you follow right now, no, we don't want to follow. We want only just, they take it as a worldly, any other job, like Laukika job, and just to make money. When you say a profession is simply doing a work like an office work and make money, you reduce all the professions into simple worldly action. That is where their mistake is. This is a wokeism, communism, and all these things anti-Hinduism. I see in the Facebook and YouTube talking nonsense. Okay. Shall I refer? The point has come. Yesterday I was discussing in my Sanskrit Pravachana. The same thing I repeat here. Okay. Some of the points I repeat here. In Manu Smriti, at one point he says, entire wealth belongs to Brahmana. Do you know that? The entire kingdom, the entire wealth of the world belongs to Brahmana. All other varnas, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shodra, are partaking with the blessing of Brahmana. This wealth, whatever you have, you are getting everything only as a blessing of Brahmana. Seeing this, you can see them, how they become furious. See, Brahmanas wrote the books that they are superior. Oh, how much they shout and get angry and shout at them, abuse them. The simple thing they miss is, they are reading the books on their own. The mind is already conditioned to Macaulay's education and an Indologist system. Therefore, they are unable to understand. I tell you, how are we to understand this point when it is said that all this wealth, all this kingdom belongs to Brahmanas alone. Other people are enjoying, by their permission, they are enjoying all this world. You get angry, you think it is your Jagir, your property, they talk it. Yes, it is Jagir and property of Brahmanas, I tell you. Because there is a deeper spiritual implication in it and you have to listen to it. Ancestral kings, Chakravartis, who were kings of the entire kingdom, after doing yajna, they gave away the entire kingdom with everything on the earth. The plants, animals, water bodies, plants, animals, water bodies, earth, and the wealth, everything to Brahmanas as a dakshina at the end of the yajna. If you read Valmiki Ramayana, Dasharatha, after performing Ashwamedha Yaga, at the end of the Yaga, he gives away to the four Rutvijas, Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, Atharvaveda. 4 Rutvijas are present. So he gives them each all his kingdom of east, west and north and south. Entire kingdom he gives them away. That is the yajna. In yajna, even the ancestors also did the yajna like this. Even before Dasharatha, Harishchandra and all these people did yajna like that. They give away entire kingdom to Brahmanas. That means they become penniless. When Brahmanas, after receiving it, they say, we cannot rule the kingdom because that is not our dharma. Our dharma is studying Veda, doing yajnas and living a simple life, selfless life, simple life without much bhoga. This is our dharma. Therefore, we can't rule the kingdom. Say they give back all the kingdom to kings. They give back all the kingdom to kings. Then kings rule on behalf of Brahmanas. They say it is not our kingdom because we have given away all the kingdom to Brahmanas as in Dakshina. So when the Brahmanas gave it back, we are only as a trustees. As a trustee means a trustee is not an owner of it. He can only maintain it and do good to it, but can't claim the ownership of it. Therefore, the Kshatriyas, the kings, can only use the kingdom, rule it according to dharma, can't claim ownership, can't do as they like it. If they do as they like it, that is selfishness and that is violating. Brahmanas only offered them to rule. You use the kingdom, rule the kingdom on our behalf. So Brahmanas gave the kingdom to kings, rule them on our behalf. But the kings have offered all the entire kingdom along with people, money, property, everything, even natural property, natural wealth, everything to Brahmanas in Dakshina. See the idea, you see, the idea behind is the kings should not arrogate the kingdom to themselves. Brahmanas also cannot, Brahmanas own it, but they can't enjoy it. See the principle behind it. Brahmanas own the kingdom, but they can't enjoy it because their dharma is not to own property, not to own any kingdom, any property. They can live on Dakshina alone. They can live on Dakshina by their job is only to study Veda and do puja, Devata Archana, and live on the blessing of gods. Live a simple life. Live on Dakshina. So Brahmanas cannot own property. So the property is put in their Brahmanas' name who cannot enjoy. Their dharma is not to enjoy. Okay. But the kings rule it on behalf of Brahmanas. See idea. Ultimate idea is neither Brahmana enjoys it, kings cannot own it, and nor Brahmanas. So it is only in the name of Brahmanas kings rule. That means selflessness is an idea given both to the Kshatriyas and Brahmanas, both of them. So see when the Manu says that, oh, all the property, entire kingdom, entire earth belongs to Brahmanas, all others are enjoying by the blessings of Brahmana, permissions of Brahmana. Seeing the shloka, they become terribly angry. They become shocked, terrified. See, arrogance of Brahmanas, how they claim. Do they understand first? They don't want to understand. They want to blame first and hate first. This is a very unfortunate thing. See the principle behind it. What a beautiful idea. Brahmanas own it. That means it remains in their name, but they can't use it. They can't rule it because ruling is not their dharma. Enjoying is prohibited for them. Enjoying the luxurious life, indulging in self-pleasures is prohibited from them. They cannot rule the kingdom. They cannot enjoy the worldly pleasures. Then what? It only remains in their name. So, and then it is given to back for kings to rule it. What a beautiful idea. Gandhiji was telling that the trusteeship, idea of trusteeship. Gandhiji told, I think Gandhiji, having read our Shastras, not directly he did not read, but he was discussing with other scholars. Scholars have explained this is idea. Gandhiji liked this idea, yes. Everybody should become a trustee of his own property. Nobody should own anything. Something like a communistic idea. All the property belongs to the king. We are only trustees. We can use them. Nobody should own them. This idea is a spiritual idea. It is good for spiritual growth. But modern people, those who want to feel the property, the possessiveness, they want to enjoy the very possessiveness and enjoy it, want to indulge in pleasures, want to the joy of possessing, because that is I am owner. There is a joy in that is a ego satisfaction. That is an ego pleasure in owning and then claiming that I am an owner. In the possessiveness, you get a kick. Okay? So that is a materialistic thing. So this was the idea. Okay? This when the shloka comes, I could explain it, but anyway, you have to wait because the shloka is very big. Manu Smriti is a very big. When the shloka comes, I have to explain. But anyway, beforehand, wherever the ideas occur to me, because when I'm reading a book and discussing with others, some people put questions. Some people put questions personally, some through phones. They ask me many questions. So those ideas, when they question, see, whatever I answer are recently asked by somebody. I explained to somebody yesterday, day before, few days ago. All those things I am talking in my classes. Okay, recently they asked these questions. So in these things it is a little diversion. We are discussing mainly brahmachari dharma. So in the meantime, this is a little diversion, but it is an important point. Let me discuss. See, it's a very interesting point. How the wealth comes for all people. For 4 varnas. Brahmana gets his wealth, that means his money, through dakshina. Okay? Brahmana gets his money through dakshina. Kshatriya gets his money through tax and penalties. Because people, he taxes the society, taxes the people. A Kshatriya gets the money through taxes. Okay? Second is, if somebody commits a crime, penalty he has to pay. Penalty means some money for committing his crimes. So that money he uses for paying salaries and many other ways, for running his kingdom, paying salaries for his own court, for his own palace and his own expenses, all that. So king gets money through taxes and penalties. Okay? Sometimes when he wages a war, he gets through donation in the form of kappam. Kappam means Telugu in kappam. I think in all South Indian languages. So when you conquer a kingdom, the king offers certain gifts. Kappam means some kind of gifts, and then donations. Gifts and donations. Gifts and donation for victory. He gets the awards. You can say a kind of awards for victory. Okay? Gifts means, instead of gifts, let us call them awards. Awards for victory. Donations, awards, tax, penalties. This is the king's way of income. King gets his income. Then the Vaishya's income. Vaishya's income is, he gets by selling. When he sells, he gets a commission. Okay? He gets a thing from somebody, and then he charges something more, including his own commission, his own extra. For whatever price he pays for a thing, he adds his own income and then puts the price for selling, that retail price. Retail price or even wholesale price. So he includes his commission in it when he sells it. Okay? Vaishya, get it. Then the Shudra gets it money as a salary. Okay? He gets his money to two things. Shudras are 2 levels. One is artisans, that is handicrafts and artisans. Handicrafts, artisans are one, and then those who offer services. For example, I tell you, 3 things are there. One is productions. Shudras produce, producers, and then some people offer services. Services are 2 types. One is a skilled service, another is unskilled service. Okay? Skilled service is, again you have to do some kind of purification and etc. Like you say a cloth is produced. Okay? A production of a cloth, the weaver produces the cloths and sells it. That is Shudra's job. That means he is a producer. Second is cleaning. Washerman cleans the clothes. That is a technical skill. Another is simply personally attending, personally doing service, etc. This is next service. So service is 2 level. One is a technical service and simple service, non-technical, labor and etc. Simple service. So in Shudras 3 levels of jobs are there. One is a production. That requires, of course, natural skill, technical skill, highly technical skill. Then is a technical service, non-technical service, labor, simple labor. So when they translated, Indologists translated the word Shudra, they put them as a slaves. See how they translated. Slaves. We Indian tradition, Shudra doesn't mean simply slaves. That means non-technical servants, unskilled servants, labor-like servants. No. We mean Shudra means three. One is technical productions. In fact, not only, so once you produce and sell, then you also make a lot of money. So in this sense, they share partly Vaishya's job, because they produce and sell. So partly they become Vaishyas. Therefore, these higher Shudras, who are producers and salesmen, they produce and sell their own product. So so other people are skilled servants, another is unskilled servants. So out of these three Shudras, the first level of higher level of Shudras are similar to Vaishyas. They are close to Dvijas only. Okay. So on the whole, Shudras get their money by selling and also by as a salary. Okay. Now the four Varnas get their income in these four ways. See here importance. Then when all the four are getting the wealth, money in their own respective ways, can we say all the money is same? No, there is a lot of difference. Because when Brahmana gets Dakshina, here a person who offers Dakshina with a Shraddha and Bhakti. Okay? That means he is voluntarily giving, happily giving. He doesn't feel hurt. Means no persecution, no hurt is involved. Supposing in tax, do you give with all Shraddha Bhakti you give tax? When you pay tax, you feel little bit uncomfortable. You are not wholeheartedly willing. Government asks tax, so you have to pay. In giving tax, you feel a part of your own hard-earned money you are giving to the king. So, in Dakshina, you don't feel that. When you are offering Dakshina out of Shraddha and Bhakti, it doesn't pinch your heart. In fact, you feel humbly you give it, you feel blessed in giving Dakshina. That means the degree of himsa you don't undergo. Whereas in paying tax, you feel little bit. Okay. Kings, when you pay the tax to kings, little bit of himsa is involved, a very small degree of himsa. Then come to the Vaishya's income. Okay? Okay, I understand. Yeah, slave in West is different, true. Ours is service alone. Servants are independent, not owned by people. Correct. Yeah, I'll tell when the next comes. Then the Vaishyas. Vaishyas get, see, this is interesting. How does Vaishyas get their income? By selling. In selling, they have to take their commission. Now you see, a person goes to a shop and buys something. When he pays for a thing, he always looks that he should get a best item and tries to pay minimum, and tries to pay for the low money. For low payment, he wants to get a best object for lowest price. A customer expects that he should be able to pay as less as possible and get as best thing as possible. The salesman, or you can say the shopkeeper. The shopkeeper sells the things. Two things are there. He looks for his commission. So the other person pays it as for commission alone, for the price of the production as well as the price of the commission. He has to pay. So in paying, does he feel that he is offering as a dakshina humbly, lovingly, and with Shraddha and Bhakti? Customer, does he feel that? He doesn't feel, because he is buying. He doesn't feel any Shraddha Bhakti in it. Okay? Therefore, he says, my own hard-earned money I am giving for buying a thing. So there the feeling of Shraddha Bhakti is not there for the customer when he is paying the money. One more important thing is you have to bargain, mainly with Vaishyas. In those days it was much more, nowadays it is less. Bargaining system is going away. In those days it was a bargaining system. The Vaishya tells the price, say this is the price I sell it. The customer bargains, say, will you sell it for this price? He offers low price. He says, no, I can't sell it. You are offering a too low price, no, I can't sell it. And first he offered first price. The salesman offers first price, declares first price, he comes down little bit. Supposing he tells 50 rupees. This customer asks for, he says, give me for 20 rupees or 10 rupees. He says, give it for 10 rupees. He says, oh, so low price you are asking? You are offering so low price? No, it is a 50, I can't give. He says, I'll come down to 48. Yes, I am ready to give for 48. And he says, no. And he rises little bit. From the 10, he says, okay, I offer you 15 rupees. So the customer slightly raises his price. The salesman comes down little bit. Ultimately, they come in between somewhere they strike a deal and he will sell it and that customer will buy. Afterwards, he goes to somebody else. He compares it with other customers. They ask him, how much you paid for it? They ask you. These are all routine grahasthas. Most of the people ask. I never asked because just my personal interest I am telling. Nothing wrong. People have to ask because people have to live. Nothing wrong. I am just telling my thing. Many people ask immediately, how much you paid? This thought never occurred to me. With my friends and classmates, if I find something in their hands, I never asked. I look at thing, it is very nice and give back. I never asked how much you paid. Because I don't know that the price thought never occurs to me because I am very poor in buying these things. I am very poor. In my brahmacharya days or even in my college days, even when I was a brahmachari in the ashram, when I needed soap or toothpaste or something book or pen, when I go to the shop, I tell them how much are fruits when I buy, I ask him the price. And that's all. I don't know how to bargain. I try to give him the price directly. Many of the businessmen, they say, Maharaj, aapke liye, they would tell me, they themselves will come down the price and give me back. They say, no, not so much price. He says, you are too innocent, you are not bargaining. Almost all people bargain. You are not bargaining. Okay, I myself will give you a discount, he will give me low price. Because I never knew this bargaining at all. I never did it. I just, whatever they asked, I just paid. Anyway, that you leave it. So generally people always bargain. Now you compare with your friend. Other friends or relatives. They ask him, how much you paid? They look at the thing and this way. Oh my God, I think you paid more price. You paid higher price. I got the same thing for this much. He says he paid for 25 rupees. He says, I got the same thing for 20 rupees. You paid extra. Oh, that fellow feels so bad. He gets cheated. Does he feel cheated or not? He feels cheated. Yo, 25 rupees I paid extra. You see that businessman, see, he sold it for 25 rupees. My friend got it for 20 rupees. This fellow feels cheated. I told him, okay, why do you feel? You are regularly going there. You think that you have given 5 rupees donation. Why do you worry? Okay, 5 rupees. You paid, given dakshina, or you given him donation. Forget it. Doesn't matter. Don't worry. He says, no, I feel cheated. He feels hurt. You see, with a Vaishya means a salesman, when you unconsciously, unknowingly, for not knowing how to bargain better, you end up paying a little more price. I said, you think that you have paid a donation. No, I am cheated. He says, if he has asked me for donation, I would have given 5 rupees extra. See, he feels proud in giving 5 rupees extra. Price is 20, I have given voluntarily 5 rupees. I don't mind. You see what he talks. If he sells me for 20 rupees and asks for extra as a donation, I would have given happily. I would not feel guilty. But in bargaining, if he sells me for 25 rupees, I feel that 5 rupees I am cheated. Okay? Customer feels that he is cheated. Therefore, when Vaishya gets money, people's heart gets pinched. Because people come from the commercial. There is no Shraddha Bhakti in selling and buying. Okay? A Kshatriya gets money in taxes. People give little bit of pinching of their heart, they pay. But into the Vaishya they pay, will feel little deeper hurt they pay. But for other person, for other Vetana etc. also, for a Shudra gets his money and he works only for money. Shudra works only for money. If you pay less or if you don't pay, he won't work at all. Or if he has got money for his maintenance, he won't come. When he needs money, that means he has the idea of money, there is no sacredness for money. When Shudra earns money, he earns just for his maintenance of his life. He wants just for enjoyments, for his drinking, for his clothes, for his food, for his house, for his family, that's all. Just for his enjoyments he wants money. He works hard and gets money, that's all. He has no, in paying tax at least you have got a larger interest of the country. Because king is using for laying roads, because the tax goes and laying roads and then paying salaries, etc. for law and order maintenance. At least king is using the money, for at least maintaining the country, law and order and etc. There you can say, okay, I am giving as a donation, at least king is using partly for the society. But for a Vaishya uses the money, takes the money and uses it for further investment and then further development economics. He takes the extra money, Vaishya takes the extra money for developing his business and production. Okay, we can understand that he is taking the more money and using it for further investment. Okay, but Shudra, he takes the money just for his own personal enjoyment, for his own personal work. That's why you can see them, sometimes they work less, sometimes 1 hour they waste time and sit together like that, chat and etc. And they somehow while the time and then take the salary and go away. They work for salary alone. You can see them in the offices, most of the fellows don't work at all. They go there and pay, they sign in the register. When the boss is coming, they will only act as if they are working. Boss is not looking, hours waste away and go away, that's all. That means they want to work less and get money. Because their money, they are interested only in money. Because work is a hard work, so they work a little bit and get the money. So therefore you see, dakshina, tax, commission and wages. Shudra gets it for wages. Now tell me, how sacred is their money? Sacred means whose money involves less himsa. Whose money involves less himsa? The himsa means the person who is paying money. Does he feel hurt? Does he feel I am exploited? Does he feel I am hard earned money I am paying to others? I am losing money. Abba, see the scooter fellow, terrible fellow. Okay, so in Brahmana's money comes with a Shraddha and Bhakti. Therefore it is because the person who is giving totally voluntary, there is no force. There is no force because he is not taxing, he is not charging, nor he is any other way. Neither charging nor taxing. So he is only voluntarily. If you give, he takes it voluntarily out of Shraddha Bhakti. If you feel hurt and give him, Brahmana will not take it. And it is told Brahmana that if a person feels hurt, feels pain in giving you, don't accept such money. Because if he feels happily, he gives you, voluntarily, lovingly, with Shraddha Bhakti, accept it. That means that money is a highly sacred money. If a Brahmana gets it as a dakshina, it is a sacred money because they give you voluntarily with Shraddha and Bhakti. So that money is a highly pavitra money. Then because a little higher degree of pain, the person who is paying the money feels little hurt. So in tax you feel little hurt. In buying the product you feel little more hurt. But in paying to the Shudra feel little more hurt. Because that fellow works less and takes away the money. So the money the himsa, the degree of himsa involved in paying the money. The degree of himsa involved in paying the money makes the money holy or unholy. Okay? That's why a Brahmana is supposed to take only dakshina. Dakshina means dakshina dana, when they give voluntarily, happily, out of shraddha and bhakti. First point. Second point is, after getting it, now this is coming to the second point. When Brahmana gets it, he is supposed to use it for only yajna, yaga, puja and again dana. Okay? Brahmana uses for puja and also the puja and also again further dana. Further dana to others. Brahmana is supposed to give dana to others again. Okay? That means he is not supposed to store it and enjoy it. Supposed to store it and enjoy it, that is not there. He gets it as a dakshina for doing puja, yajna, and then so he is supposed to cook food for naivedyam for devatas. For naivedyam devata. Therefore, that's why Shastra says that a person, he cooks the food for himself, he becomes papi. So he gets it as a dakshina and cooks it and only offers to devatas and then eats the food. Not only food, clothes, every object he offers, every object Brahmana gets it as a dakshina and dana. Okay? He gets it as a dakshina and dana. And then again, everything he has to offer to devatas and use it. Without offering devata, he can't use it. Okay? He has to do naivedyam, nivedanam to devata. Clothes, food, everything. Even the patni and children are given as a gift of devatas. He takes a patni is given as a gift by devatas. Because patni is a sahadharmacharini. You have to use her only for your dharma. And then children are also is given as a gift. You are supposed to use them for dharma. Because you have to do, there is the traditional sampradayik vedadhyayana and yajna yagadi. So in sampradaya, vedadhyayana, yajna yagadis are coming from generations. So those things you have to make him inheritor. You have children to inherit these your duties, dharma, puja and dharma. Puja and dharma you have inherited from your parents. So you have to produce children, educate them, bring them up so that you hand over these holy actions of yajna, yaga, vedadhyayana. So you need an uttaradhikari for your puja, yajnadhyayana. Therefore you have children. So children are uttaradhikari because that's why gotras, brahmanas take seriously gotra. People think that why these brahmanas are so much worried about gotra. You understand their whole life is different. Because rishis have brought these yajnas, yaga, vedadhyayana, etc. So these are all holy activities. So he needs a uttaradhikari for holy activities. You produce your children and train them up and hand over these holy activities to them. And also get the money as a dakshina, offer it to devatas, then consume it. His consuming is not for bhoga, consuming it as a prasada. Stena eva saha, ye pachanti atmakaranat. See, Bhagavad Gita says, a person who cooks the food for himself, he is eating papa. He should cook it as a naivedyam for devatas. And then as a prasada, he has to eat it. That means all his enjoyments are prasadas of devata. Therefore, sannyasi also is supposed to take bhiksha from brahmana because brahmana gets food from dakshina, gets money from dakshina, and also offers naivedyam to devata. Then that after naivedyam, it is a devata prasada. That prasada, because if you eat it as first you get it as a dakshina without hurting people, without doing himsa to people, and then offer to devatas and get it as a prasada. That is a highly sattvic food. If you eat such a food, your mind becomes really pure. Your mind becomes really pure. Therefore, sannyasi is supposed to take food, bhiksha from brahmanas, because brahmanas dharma. Therefore, offering bhiksha is also. Therefore, he does naivedyam to devatas, and then offers to bhiksha to the Atiti and sannyasis. Atitis and sannyasis he gives the food after offering to devatas, then remaining food he consumes it, then it becomes a sattvika, that is his life. Okay? Therefore, Brahmana's life involves, first it is not overindulgence in pleasures. He gets the money as a dakshina, eats the food as a prasada, and offers it to others as with a holy thing. That's why his life involves no himsa. That's why Brahmana is respectable. And he carries that yajna, yaga, vedadhyayana, jnana, punya, papa, devata, paraloka, what you call punarjanma, all this Vedic knowledge, which is a sacred knowledge. He gets it and also hands over to the next generation. And that next generation, he becomes a guru, and all this knowledge he shares with other castes, and then his next generation also assumes the guru role and teaches it. So because his whole life involves no himsa for others, that's why Brahmana's life is holy. He is a guru, and killing a Brahmana is the highest papa. Now you understand that? Then Kshatriya. Kshatriya gets the money, we have already discussed that, I just say it once. So Kshatriya gets money from taxes, as penalty, as kappa and other things, like means awards and rewards. When he wins the kingdom, conquers the kingdom, other kings give some kappa. Kappa means some kind of rewards and all that, donations and all that. So there, when a defeated king gives the money, does he give happily like a dakshina? He feels a little hurt. His ego is hurt, and he has to give a lot of money, gold and what you call diamonds and etc. So many things he gives gift, because he is defeated in the war. There a little bit of hurt is there. It is not as pure as the dakshina. He is not giving with humility and bhakti. When a Brahmana is given dakshina with a shraddha and bhakti, he feels blessed that Brahmana is accepting dakshina from me, I feel blessed with it. He doesn't feel any himsa in it. But when you give a taxes, when a defeated king gives donations and all that, penalty, a person commits crime, a theft, a thief, etc., when he is punished, he gets the money as a result of punishment. King gets that punishments, penalties, taxes, penalties, donations, the defeated kings, all that he gets. But a little bit of hurt and pain is involved. When the person who is giving money, he doesn't give wholeheartedly, he gives little bit with pain. So that money carries little pain with it. Therefore, king's money, but later the king uses it for the society, for laying roads, for maintaining law and order, and many other things. So, for doing good to the society, he uses them. But little bit of pain is involved in the money. That money is not so pure as the dakshina. Okay, a small degree of hurt is involved, himsa is involved. Therefore, that money carries a little bit of pain of others. Therefore, it is a less pure. It is no doubt pure, less pure. Then come to the Vaishya. Then Vaishya gets the money as a result of bargaining, because he has to bargain. And first he tells, as I gave you an example already, first he tells the 50 rupees price and he comes down to 25. The other person, first he starts with 10 rupees and then goes up, the customer, and ends up paying 25 rupees. And he feels that 5 rupees I am cheated. Because some other customers got it for 20 rupees, I bought it for 25 rupees. So 5 rupees I ended up paying, because unable to bargain, I ended up paying. He feels cheated, he feels exploited, he feels hurt. Therefore, there is a little hurt in the customer. So in a Vaishya's wealth, there is a hurting of the customers. Customers feel hurt. Of course, sometimes they feel happy, but there is a part of hurting is there. Therefore, that wealth carries a little bit of himsa. Compared to Kshatriya's wealth, Vaishya's wealth carries little more himsa. Then come to the Shudra. Shudra, just he wants money for his maintenance. If you give him money, doesn't even work. He wants to money, he wants just, you can see them, yeah, this much work you have to do that. That fellow comes, you can see the laborers, how the technical fellows, he accepts this work, half does it and goes elsewhere. And this, you see how much you suffer. and he takes the money and does half work and goes away. You see the electrician, etc. My God, how they give trouble. Days together you suffer. Half of the work is done. The wall is broken. He has to build a door there, and he goes away. He accepts some other work. It doesn't come on time. Months goes on. You see the ashram is lying here. Months goes on. Everything is broken, and you can't use the room. What will you say? You feel hurt. In paying, that fellow doesn't do the work. My God, months and months are passing. That fellow doesn't do the work. That means in Shudra's work, more himsa is involved. His money is more selfish and more himsa is involved. Therefore, Brahmana's life involves no himsa. Kshatriyas involves little bit. Vaishyas involves little more. Shudras involves little more. Therefore, what we say, this one wealth, the wealth they get it is purer, Brahmanas. That's why these four varnas are considered. So therefore Brahmana commands higher respect. Commands means you respect him because the very respect for Brahmana, because Brahmana is a guru. Therefore respecting Brahmanas is like a guru seva. All other castes do it as a seva, guru seva, offer it as a dakshina. Therefore for a Brahmana, if he teaches Veda, when teaching Veda or doing yajnas, he should not bargain. Brahmana is not supposed to bargain. He does the yajna yaga, at the end he gets a dakshina. At the end he doesn't fix the price. Okay? He doesn't fix the price. When Vedadhyayana, when he teaches Veda, when he gives any education, he doesn't fix price in advance. If he fixes the price in advance, that is considered as a selling the Veda, selling knowledge. If he sells knowledge, he is an Adhama Brahmana, he is a Brashta Brahmana. He is not supposed to sell it. He teaches, at the end he gives voluntarily as a dakshina. Therefore, Brahmanas is purely dharmic life. Everything he does it as a dharma. For sake of dharma, he does all his yajna, puja, Vedadhyapana and knowledges. He gives freely as a dharma. And whatever he gets is only a dakshina. Therefore, Brahmana's life is more like a karma yoga. Therefore, he is a guru. The money he gets is a purest money without involving himsa. Therefore, he is a guru and you respect him. And if you kill a Brahmana, is a Brahmahatya. If you rob Brahmana's wealth, because that wealth people gave it out of dakshina with bhakti, and it is used for yajna, yaga and other things and puja and other things, such money if you rob, it is the highest papa. Okay. Then the Kshatriyas involves little bit of himsa, tax. And Vaishyas, he gets it by commission. Okay. And then the Shudras is only just for his selfishness alone. He works and then he gets the money. Therefore, in their income, in their money, this kind of, depending upon the degree of himsa, degree of pain involved in that money becomes purer or less pure or higher pure. Purer or less pure. Okay? Therefore, this is how we divided the four varnas and the respect to them and their income. I think it's more than 1 hour is over. I think this comes, you see them, how our Shastras look at the life and professions, varnas, etc. Now this modern thing is totally different. It's all only materialistic, money, working and only that thing. They look at that angle. Our angle is this, okay? One more point is there, I think time is up, we will discuss tomorrow. Tomorrow means in the next Saturday. Okay, Manu Smriti we are discussing the next Saturday. This is, in fact, we are discussing Brahmachari Dharma. This point came, so as a second little deviation, but anyway I discussed it. Probably I will touch this again in Grihastha Dharma. Again when we talk of comparison of Varnas, we will discuss again later, sometimes in 4th chapter or so. Now we will continue with the Brahmachari Dharmas in the next class. Okay? Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om Tat Sat.